streaming? I do not know. Let me just check my own computer. This is very professional, I know, but let me just check on my own computer if I am indeed live. How's everyone going on this fine Sunday afternoon? Let me just get this as close as I can get to my mouth. If there's anything that you can see that it's not quite right, just let me know in the chat. I can see my chat now. Okay, so I think I would be able to see my chat on OBS, shouldn't I? But it is not showing, so I'm doing something wrong. What's the point of this stream, for those of you asking on replay and thinking, why is this guy even trying to do a live with barely any subscribers and very little content and skill, to be very honest? But the reason is because I lack the discipline to record and edit videos properly, but I still like discussing guitar stuff. This past week I've been very busy with the Faisley FSST 720 that, according to Steve Cassidy, let's see if I summon him by saying his name, is a Jet 400S, or shares a lot of the DNA of the Jet S400, 400S something, JS400. I saw the news on his site today mentioning that Jet is going to be releasing something very exciting this next year. For those of us who want more upgraded Jets, I think that if they did the Ocean Fade one, that really tingles my fancy, with roasted neck and rosewood fretboard, would be really cool. Because this is what I have at the moment. I'll share with you. I'll show you. So this is what the guitar that was jade green, that was sunburst, and then jade green, and then jade green over sunburst relic now looks like. On camera looks quite alright, to be fair. See, still the same with the black tuners and chrome string tree that doesn't annoy me at all colors wise. As you can see, it has now polygons. It seems like it was, and it has this feature here that is definitely a feature and not a sending mistake, and it's what it is. So what did I do with this guitar? I might do a video explaining everything and showing you the pain that I went through, but basically I stripped back all the finish that it had. So the one that I put on and the one that was underneath. Why, you ask? Because I'm an idiot. It's the only reasonable explanation. I should have just maybe set it back to the sunburst and then painted over it if I wasn't happy with the previous finish. But I wanted to try this Bolt Guitars UK color finish system that they have, that I was told it was water based, although it isn't. This isn't water based because it has some adherence and it's mixed with the matte finish, so there is some gluing plastic base thing that is in there. I don't know, maybe it is water based, I just don't know enough about dyes and paints, but it seems like there is something there that allows it to go over and to cover material that is not just wood, because that was the first thing. So stripping a guitar, if you never have done it, I don't recommend it. Don't do it unless like it's a really expensive guitar and you really have to do it, like it's the finish is broken, it has thing, and you don't want to pay someone else to do it professionally and you want to do it yourself. Sure, I guess. I just don't have the patience to do it properly. A lot of people say heat gun and then just use some metal thing to peel off the paint. This guitar, what happened was it burned the wood under the paint, the poly paint, before it started to flake off. So, and I also did something that was really smart, which is I started on the front of the guitar. So that's why there's like dings here, because I was trying to use at a point a chisel to try to get the finish off, which was a terrible mistake. Don't do that. That's really dumb. Don't do that. So I used the heat gun, and the way that I started using it was I would go around the guitar with the heat gun, moving it around, and then when it started to crackle, meaning that like the finish was sort of loosening. Then I'll move along to some other area, and then I'll leave it for a little bit to cool down, and then I will come with a 60 grit sander or 80 grit sander disc at the end of a power drill, and I'll go around it. It worked. On the flat bits is easier, but even on the flat bits I managed to make like waves and bits that are deeper than the others. It scratches a lot of the wood because it's very coarse grit, and also creates this fine dust that gets everywhere and it's horrible. I didn't have a proper respiratory mask, so I was wearing these COVID masks, the N something because it was getting everywhere, and it's like on your clothes, so it has to go to wash. So either use the same clothes every time or just has to go for a wash. And every time you come inside, I had to go for a shower because I would be spreading fine particle plastic dust everywhere in the house. That is harmful for me and for everyone that lives here. So and then you get to the bits where it curves, and it's very easy to do things like I've done here, that it went into deep trying to get to this area here, and here it sort of squared it, and you think, oh, you can always send it after. Yes, but you see here, it's like it's sort of, it gave me a bit of perspective on how much work actually goes into these things being done. Even these really cheap ones and really cheap bodies and really value guitars, let's call them, have a lot of skill in making these rounded, seamless bodies. Inside it was, I think, like there's it's a lot of pieces. Like there's one here, and there's another one here, and another one here. It's like 6 pieces of wood glued together. But once it's painted, I don't really care for it. And the fact is, it was really well done because you couldn't see from the outside. Well, you could see on this one because it was a sunburst, and that was one of the things I didn't like on the sunburst. There was some marks here that you could see through the sunburst in the beginning. But there is a lot of skill in the people that are building these guitars to make them these contour bodies really well. I know there's CNC, there's a lot of it, but then you have to go and sand it and not screw it up and keep the proportions and keep the dimensions and everything. So yeah, it's really hard work stripping a guitar. I imagine a Les Paul would be even harder because of the carve, or like a PRS. Telecaster might be the easiest one. Anything with the binding I don't even want to think about, but a Strat or a Strat's contour body style, it's really challenging. All right. And then I used the finish, which I didn't follow instructions correctly because I'm always in a rush and trying to cover up for my own mistakes and everything. But I would give a good review of the coloring system. It's much easier it's not quite easier, maybe not be the right expression. It's more friendly than spraying because there's no splurts, there is no air pollution sort of thing that you can breathe as well and then make you sick, because it's a liquid base. You sort of, it's like a poly, like what's it called, rollover? It's not rollover, apply on. You use a rag basically to apply it on the finished beat by beat, and then layer by layer you put it, you wait 20 minutes, you put it, you wait 20 minutes, you put it another layer, you wait 20 minutes, or wait a little bit, and layer by layer it sort of builds up. It's more breathable, I guess, for the guitar if you want to go that route, but it is a really easy to paint. Then there is the gloss and matte finishes that you can put on, and once again, but you have to follow the 20-minute pauses and the 24-hour minutes to rest. So you can do it. They say it says 4 days, but if you're trying to do it to like this level of coverage, which is not just a beach cabin, beach hut sort of like lightly colored wood, it will be, I would say, a few days. And I would recommend, if you do get the Bolt Guitars UK coloring system, or dye system or finish system, whatever they call it, to get the sanding bits that they can sell you, because then on the videos you'll see like the 320, the 400 grit, the 600, the 800 being used, and you'll have it without having to go search for it somewhere else. The videos are really easy to follow and everything, but I think that's the video for in and of itself if anyone interests you. But if you don't follow, you'll get like runs, and I was trying to cover the burnt bits, but to be fair, from this distance you're not able to see. Now, what's the point of refinishing a guitar in a finish that for £170 you can already get it? I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like, you can buy a Strat body for £150 from Northwest Guitars, right? But then it might not fit this specific guitar, so you can get the whole guitar, the Jet 400S, that has a neck, a bow nut, and the body and the screws, right? And the bridge that apparently is quite good, right? So bridge, body, neck, screws, the pick guard, right? And the bow nut. If you still have to replace probably the tuners and the pickups and electronics, but still, it's £170 for all of those things. While if you just want a Strat guitar, it's like 150 easily, or more, depending on what you go for. And they sell this sort of color. So I wanted to go for a different color, but there was nothing on the bolt coloring finishing system that I really wanted. I actually thought this was going to be slightly greener. It's more like a bluish green. It's more seafoam than surf green. And you know, there's bits here that I don't know if I already managed to ding or to mess up. I'm not sure, that you can see here and here on the back as well. And the finish is not really smooth, but I didn't polish this guitar at the end like it was recommended. I just wanted to get it over and done. So it's a more friendly aspect in that you don't need a booth, for example, to be able to do this. You can do this anywhere really with the rag, and it's not toxic. It does not leave toxic air. It doesn't leave like a smell. You can just do it at your own pace, as long as you're like standing back when you go to apply the new finish. And if it takes a bit longer, it takes a bit longer. But so does nitro finish take a long time, and you need to follow all the steps, and you need to look out for peel, and if it gets water, and it will crackle. And here it has very generous portions, this finishing system, and it's easy to follow along, even though I rushed through it, but I recognize that it is easy to follow along. And you get a pretty good result. Does it look coming out of the factory? No, but it depends. Maybe there's like a luthier that charges a lot of money for you to get something similar to this. It's like an antique varnish, or like a French violin maker sort of thing. I think it's similar to what True Tone is, in a sense. It feels very similar to that, and that's what Kiesel and Eastman uses now in replacement of nitrocellulose, because nitrocellulose is really nasty. So, and it's like really breathable for the wood, so if you believe that the wood needs to be like free to move, all those things, great. All right, so okay, what else did I do to this guitar? Sorry. So the pick guard, like I said, was too wide. Some people took offense to this, but what I did was in an effort to try to polish, use an abrasive disc on the metal pickup that was here on the pickguard. I went a bit too far and dirtied the pickguard. So in order to get it off, I needed to use abrasive pads all over the pickguard, or all over this, which means that then the lower part of the pickguard would be matte and the upper would be gloss. So I went with these abrasive discs that I have somewhere. Where do I have them? I can't find anything when I need it. No. Can't find it now. No, abrasive pads. I used abrasive pads all over it, and then I realized that I could use those abrasive pads on the metal pickups, and I used that. I used that on the pickup, on the screws for the pickguard as well, which means they're a bit less glossy, they're a bit more faded. And then I was on Facebook Marketplace once again, my nemesis and my best friend, and I saw that there was a guy selling this loaded pickguard with two Seymour Duncan SSL ones, so for the neck and the middle, and a Trembucker TB4, the Jeff Beck one, on the bridge. It had three, so one volume, two tones, and then a switch for the bridge, switch to add in the neck, and I got it, obviously, it's here, but it was all on a black pickguard with everything black. And I didn't realize that the Trembucker had his last is legs, the legs of the humbucker itself, chopped off. So you see here, you see these legs where you have to attach the screws under the pickguard. Hey Steve, good thing this attracted you. But so he basically, what I was saying was, the guy that had this humbucker, he cut these legs and then put it on that plastic cover, the black plastic cover, shoved it, and the pressure from the side of the plastic cover keeps the humbucker here, but I think it's a bit too low on this specific example, and I had to open the slot for the pickup, the humbucker, a bit more. Something that I realized doing this is that these guitars, the Jets and the Faisleys, the humbucker is slightly higher than on a typical Strat. So on a typical Strat, the width of the bottom part is less than on this guitar, meaning that in order for this guitar to be here, it will have to be slightly, like a couple of millimeters up. That does affect the sound, obviously. I don't know how much, but it means that the bridge humbucker is closer to the neck than on a normal 25.5 inch. I don't know if that's on purpose, if it was by accident, if it's just a copyright thing, but very well. Steve, email me if you can, if you want to, at blackpoolmusicbookings@gmail.com. Or you can just email me at my personal one, but I just don't want to give it to everyone to be able to see my personal email. Not that like the Indian scammers are any better, but at least I'm not putting it out on the internet. Because I've been doing the Studio Rats on Wednesdays. I've crashed yes, I have refinished the Faisley. I've been doing the Studio Rats on Wednesdays. I crashed their live streams, just the last couple of them, and they use StreamYard. So if you want to try StreamYard, me using StreamYard to host it, I guess we can try that. I'm not using that now. I'm using OBS now, so I don't know how to add another person. But and I guess I'll have to use StreamYard and OBS. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But we can do that trying before your big debut on Wednesday, the 20th of December, 16th, something. Yes, I refinished the Faisley using the Bolt Guitars UK finishing system. It's almost like an enamel, really. It's like a paint that you put layer by layer, and then at the end you put the finish that you desire. It's like this, but what I was saying was I could have bought this guitar on this color, basically. Just new. And even the one that they have pre-relict is not that much more expensive. But fact is, this coloring system cost me 15 quid, and a new guitar was 780 and already had these bits. I did consider it, but I couldn't justify spending more money on something that I already have, just for the color of the body. Prism Live, never heard of it, never tried it, but good luck. I don't know. Maybe it's better. I've just looked at the cheap and cheerful systems. Yeah, I've refinished this, but ended up sanding too much around a lot of the curves. So yesterday, when I commented on the video that Steve made, that was really interesting, comparing the Fender Player HSS with a stock Jet 400, I said I had put SSL 1 Seymour Duncans, but I couldn't really hear the difference between those and the ceramic. The thing is, I played the ceramics a while back, so I can't like bring the sound to the front. The videos that I have are comparing the humbuckers, so I didn't really look into the single coils. They don't sound bad, it's just a bit muted, really. So what I did was, so this guy that had a loaded pickguard, I rewired to have a master tone and a master volume instead of one volume and two tones. Drilled the holes here to put the switches that he already had. So used one of those bi-step drill bits, and it went really well. So one adds the neck pickup and the other one splits the bridge humbucker into single coil, and put it all here. Managed to wire everything. If anything, this whole shebang of putting guitars modding in this last month and a half that I've been more focused on doing has really taught me a lot about soldering and electronics and wiring and ground, and like more confident in doing that. It's one of those, like, the more you do it, the more you know. Using flux, right, is really important. Having hot iron, soldering iron that works well, and like being able to look and identify what's going where. So I think it does sound better. Like, I really like the sounds of it now, and before I wasn't really convinced. So I think these Seymour Duncan were really good, because I looked, a single Seymour Duncan SSL1 on the neck position is 110 pounds, okay? Which, it is what it is, right? So two would have been 200 pounds, and I guess if I wanted to put the Jeff Beck TB4 Seymour Duncan that I have here on the bridge, that is, it's just a passive pickup, it just has a plastic cover, would have been like 300 pounds, and all of the pickups and this switching system that I still have a CTS spot, and the black pick guard and the black backplate and the black Seymour Duncan covers and everything else was 85 pounds posted to me. So I'm really thankful to the guy that did that. He plays in a band called Velouria. So if you want to go check them out, VELOURIA. So yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I think I'm gonna use it to make a couple of videos, especially comparing to my Fret King, because I was convinced that the Fret King, the single coil sounds were not really convincing, because it has a P90 and a humbucker that, or a P100 and a humbucker that gets split, and that's supposed to sound like a single coil Strat. And I was like, maybe it isn't. That's why I'm gonna like work on this. But it does sound really blaming good. Thanks. So Steve here is talking about my contributions on the Studio Rats Wednesdays live streams that go live on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. You know, they have a bigger audience than me, and since they open for audience participation, I think it's a good opportunity for me to chat, because I do like chatting about guitars, and they have a lot of experience and access to new gear, and the chat is really thoughtful, and everyone is really welcoming, and I have ideas during the week that I want to share with someone, so it's cool that they're there to do that. Like, I had a list of things from last week. One of them was based on John Robson's, our dear friend as well, that I'm not I'm patron at the moment, but you know, money's tight. But John Robson's video on the 5 essential electric guitars, or 5 essential guitars to have, and I thought he was going to do just 5 electric guitars, and he went and added a bass and an acoustic guitar. It's like, well, you're already cutting my ability to choose guitars very down. So I guess if I had to go the same route, sorry guys, if I had to go the same route, what do I actually need? It will have to be a nylon string, because I need that to perform the Portuguese, the bossa nova, that sort of style of music. So the nylon string. I definitely need a steel string acoustic, which is the other one. I need a bass, because sometimes I do my own recordings at home, and I have like took to open mics, and I even joined a band briefly for a period of time that was playing a bass. So it's important to have a bass. I need to have a bass. So leaves me only 2 electric guitars. How can one choose simply 2 electric guitars? And it's like, do I double down on something that I really like, or do I choose the more expensive ones, or the most versatility? I think if at the moment I was forced to choose just 2 guitars, it would be the Fret King Corona Custom, which is, I'm gonna turn you around. It's very professional, I know, but which is this one. All right. So this one here is the Fred King Corona Custom that has the P90, the middle and the single and the vibrato, and it has push pulls or push push for splits and for adding the neck pickup. So it does everything. And then the Share Gold that has really good Seymour Duncan pearly gates on the bridge and Seymour Duncan P90 on the neck. And you can split the bridge, so you get, and it's a hardtail with Telecaster single coils. So it's really, those will be the finishing two, because it gets a vibrato, right, and all the sounds, thick and thin, let's call them, and then I have a really solid. So if I was gigging and I usually just need two tunings or one, or like I could do the tuning on the Helix and have a backup. I guess at the moment that will be the only thing that I really need. But this black one is one that my aunt gave me. Like, it's my first electric guitar, so I will never be able to get rid of it. So I'll need to stay with this one, with this black one, and add one of the others. My heart is saying Share Gold, but my mind technically would be the Fred King. And the reason why I got the pickups for this one, because I thought of just getting two single coils. But like, if I got the iron gears, it would be £55 at least, and which is like, okay, it's not a lot of money. I was checking the Alnico pickups on eBay, but I've tried the Allegri Shimmer, and they always sound like there's something there that is not quite how I like it. There's just, and then to have something that you're not quite satisfied with, might as well just keep the ceramic ones that came on it. Because I'm let's get something clear. I'm referring to the pickups that came on the Jets, on the Faisley, as ceramics, as being something bad. It like ceramics, I've heard good ceramics on videos, right? We've heard the comparisons. They are, and by ceramic I mean this, okay? It has a ceramic bar at the bottom. So instead of the lugs being metal, there are Alnico magnets. The magnets at the bottom and the lugs go on top. Okay, but these sound not too bad, as Steve video shows from yesterday. They're good. They're good pickups. They sound all right. They're perfectly playable and they're perfectly all right. And I even considered trading one of the Fred Kings for a Share Gold Masquerader that's for sale on Sells Your Guitar, which is a really cool shop that you can go check out as well. That they like buy your guitar, and they send you the box, and you ship the guitar, and they take it for the code that they give you, and then they send you the new guitar that they have in stock. So it's it's a really cool concept and everything, and I'll live an hour away from them, so I'm in Blackpool, they're in Ashton-under-Lyne in Manchester, so I could go there and everything. So I did think about that, but then I went to read the reviews about the Masquerader with the HSS that has SSL 6 Seymour Duncan, then people saying that's a bit dark, and then I would have free guitar, because I was thinking of trading the red Fred King. So I'll have the Telecaster Nashville sort of thing, and then a Share Gold that has a Telecaster bridge, and then another Share Gold that has another Telecaster bridge, and it was doing my head. I don't know. This is such a dumb way of choosing things, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend, because I had to pay the difference as well, so it was like £100 the difference. So like, I bought the Fred King recently for more than what the Share Gold is for sale now, and I'm still going to spend £100. £100 is less than what the pickups are worth, so it's a good upgrade in that regard. But then I will lose the only guitar that has a vibrato. Maybe I should do the Telecaster, but then I won't have a guitar with a Telecaster bridge, and I like having a Telecaster bridge. Do I play country? Do I play anything that needs it? No, but I watch videos and people talk about it, and I like to feel like I have the thing that they're talking about. Okay, it makes little sense. So when I saw this loaded pickguard for 85, and we could agree on 85 to be cents, it gave me the SSL ones, which was what I actually like, because one of the Masqueraders, one of the Masqueraders has the SSL 1 and SSL 3 on the bridge, I think, but I never so I was like, no, I got this, so I have this guitar now, this HSS Faisley Share Gold, very good. Gabe, right? I did say I was gonna get another one, and I did get another one, and I love it. It's such a ridiculous guitar. So I got this. I got this. Okay. So this is the Shergold Provocateur, the one with the P90. I don't know if it's the one or if it's the two. It doesn't say here. I really like it because once again, fretwork amazing, really leveled. It sounds immense, like our friend Dave Simpson says. The only thing that I would say is this neck pickup. It is usable. I haven't used it much, but it is usable. P90 necks, in my experience, are really hot. Really hot. It's not hot. They want to say it's like they have this warmth about them that when you switch from one thing, from the bridge to the neck, it like sounds like, oh, it's like volume. But I don't think it's volume. It's the bassiness of it. So this has the screws to adjust, and they're almost they're as low as they can go. As you see, it's really low, which is not a bad thing. It's just how it is. I think the strings vibrate more here than here, so that's why usually bridge humbuckers are so hot to accommodate for that. So especially if you are going to play with the split and have like the Telecaster sort of sound with a single coil, this I find it that's lowering it makes it a really usable sound. These are great guitars. I think I haven't tried the new standards, Gabe, so I don't know how do they sound. They have a different bridge, so some people might prefer that, like the Hipshot style of bridge. And it's a different neck because this one is, I think it's roasted mahogany, I want to say, and is like hand finished with some sort of oil. So it feels really nice. I've gigged this guitar since getting it because it just so good. There's things like this is not recessed, the neck plate here, but let's be honest, I'm not the guy that plays whittly. I just play power chords. I know how to play more things than that, but at the end of the day, when playing in a duo where the bass is going through a different system, that's what I end up playing a lot of the times. It's like power chunky chords and then just singing over it. But wait, it's out of tune. Let me just tune this. Really great guitar. I really recommend it. Even if it was brand new, at the £800, it's worth. The only thing that makes it not worth is the fact that you can buy it for less, used here and there. So keep an eye out for it. If I see one anywhere, I'll make a post on the community page. Are you in the UK, Gabe? Let me know. Yeah, these P&P straps for the ones of us that care about the fashion in our guitars. Fashion and guitars. Sponsored by Raphael and Steve, apparently. No, there must be other people because there were other people commenting on the video. It's like, is there any point in having straps when you're just playing at home? No, but... yeah, in the case. Yeah, so... sometimes, for example, PMT has a Masquerader with the free single coils that is £550, so sometimes they have it. I have a list of websites that have used sections. So like, for example, Kenny's Music and Absolute Music and Pitch and PMT and GAC and Langley Guitar Center and Leo and Ted. They all have pre-owned, used, second-hand sections. So I compiled the list. It's on my computer at the moment. To like go visit it. But the thing is, if you're looking at guitars and you don't have the money to spend, it's like going out to meet girls while you're in a serious relationship. It's just dangerous and it leads in bad ways. But if you're looking for this one, if you're looking for a guitar in specific, it's good to go because Google doesn't show all the results. Badlands Guitars in Bristol as well, it's a good shout. There's about Forsyths in Manchester. There's a bunch of like little shops, Joe Music, that exist throughout the UK. That have websites and you can buy from them, but they just don't show on the SEO. My idea was to actually compile some sort of search engine that would go through all the guitars, guitar, obviously, like the pre-owned section is used. That would like you search for a guitar and it would show you where it was showing. I don't know if that's possible or if that's legal, which is a different aspect. But yeah, this one, like the headstock. Oh, the headstock is not very attractive. It isn't, okay? It looks like the sort of thing that you can row your way out of a body of water. But when you're playing properly, right, in this angle, you don't see the shape of the headstock. And when it hears the sound, it sounds. And if you go see my last video on pickups, something, I compared this Seymour Duncan to the Iron Gear Dirty Torque that's on the Eastman and the Bare Knuckle that was on the Faisley, and this one, me and another guy agreed that these are these pearly gates, because the other one has 59s, right? So the one that has 2 humbuckers has 2 59s, Seymour Duncan 59. This one has the pearly gates, and I really like this. And like you're saying that you play Strat, right? So it has like the beveled, so it's more comfortable, and it sits better in my lap than the Les Paul. The Les Pauls tend sometimes to feel like they're too far when you put them, the way that the body is built. So it's like the neck isn't, it's falling off your lap. That's why you usually have to wear like a strap even when playing a Les Paul sitting down. So it's cool. But if you really like the scale length of the Strat, because this is 24 3/4, I think, or and a half, 24 and a half. It's a shorter scale length than the Strat. If you really like the scale length of the Strat, the Masquerader, which is the double cut, is 25 and a half. And I know that there's a few for sale that has the P90 and the pearly gate, so that could be a good shout for you. Personally, I don't like the design as much, and the colors are like, the colors is cherry, dirty blonde, and gray. And the Masquerader has the tangerine. Maybe they were going for, they're going for like traditional colors for the Shergolds, but I think like, where's the British racing green or the postal box red? Something like, if you want to make it UK themed, there's Windermere blue, let's call it, instead of like Placid blue. Yeah, in the short scale, yeah, great. I really like this. Everything is quality, everything works as it's meant to be. Great design. It's like, it's a PJD design. So if the way that I looked at it is it's like a boutique design, right? A boutique guitar design made to a great spec, and it's a shame that they couldn't market it, I guess, make it appealing to the masses, because it really is a great guitar. But it's just one of those things. You can get the PRS SE, it's good looking, yes, but it's not the same. This feels quality. The PRS SE in comparison feels plasticky. You can buy like an Epiphone 59 because it has Gibson humbuckers and electronics. Yes, but you can buy this. That's a unique design that has ebony fingerboards, roasted mahogany, Seymour Duncan pickups for the same amount of money, but it's not a Les Paul. But it is a very good guitar, in my opinion. I feel like this is a really, really good guitar. And like you said, I had the humbucker because it was for £500 at Guitar, and I bought it. But then I started to think maybe I wanted the Les Paul, so I traded that in. Actually, I sold that for £300, which is insane. The guy that bought it, I don't even get it, because I'll tell the story. So I sold it for £300, and on the same day, on the same trip that I was out of the house, I went to pick up an Epiphone Les Paul 59 for £300 as well, which is also a great deal. And that one had a case, like the leather case with the pink inside. And then I drove home, and then later on that day, or the day after, something like that, I saw it at Austin's Guitars, which is on the way to Liverpool. I think it's Kirby, somewhere between Blackpool and Liverpool, for £500 again, the guitar that I just traded to this guy. So I don't know if he was part of the shop, but I don't think he was, because he was trying to trade me another guitar and everything. So he bought a killer guitar for £300 and then traded it in. Maybe he got similar amount of money, but it just shows that it like you buy this and then you get a bit stuck with it because no one wants to buy it, because probably the people that would want to play it are like gigging musicians, and a lot of times gigging musicians, if you're playing like in a tribute or something, you'll have to have the instrument that the band originally played, or that people will recognize, or that will give you credit for. I think there's a lot of politics there. So you agree that Masquerade isn't as pretty, and it's different, and people don't have the opposite. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you went to someone to ask you to build this, you'll pay a fortune, but it exists, it's widely available, and people just choose not to buy it. I played the Seth Backus single cut at Sound Effects in Ormskirk. Let me just put this back. And I really liked it, but that guitar, it's between £2,000 and £3,000. Can you justify that? I can't. I can't justify that. So there we go. How long have you been on? Let me just see. How long have I been faffing about here? For 40 minutes. 40 minutes seems like a lot of time. So yeah. So my idea at the moment, going back to the modding of value guitars, is I wonder if I would, because this bridge pickup, there's a few different things. There's a few different things with this one, that the base plate legs have been cut off, right, and it's stuck there. But now that means that the hole is too big. But this is an interesting argument that you're raising here. I don't know why I'm putting. Yes, it's correct. That no guitar is worth more than £750. But do you mean new or used? Like brand new out of the factory or used? Because I think that's the important sort of distinction that I often think about. Because used 750, you can get like a Fender Performer, maybe. You rarely can get like an Eastman, the semi-hollows. It still covers a lot of ground though. There's no proper Jazzmaster Jaguar for that amount of money. But you can get like Gordon Smiths all day long. The single coils wise, there's the Fret Kings, like I mentioned, the Shergolds, obviously, the modded guitars, the Fenders, and the Gibson Studios sometimes show up, the tributes. But I'm thinking like handcrafted instruments. I don't know what will be my ceiling that I think after. I think personally, that no guitar, there's no features that justify a guitar to be more than £2,500, and 2.5. It is like, because that's what. Well, there's always the point of like, I don't have the money, which I don't. That's why I'm pathing about with these guitars that I traded for a pedal. But like, let's think about it. Okay, let's think about it for a minute. The 335, okay, the Gibson ES 335 was $335 when it came out in 58, whatever it was, right? What is the equivalent of that in today's money? Okay, that's sort of the math that I'm doing here. But that being said, like Telecasters and Strats specifically really annoy me because they're so basic. They're so basic in assembly and design that there's really no, like, you can get a Jet, let's say, but let's use Jet for example, right? You can get a Jet and just use the bones, because frets are leveled, they are in the right place, the nut is spread apart. Okay, you might want a nut that is slightly wider, which actually the Shergold is 42.5 millimeters. I don't know if you noticed, which means that it's basically the same as the Fender American Telecaster and Strat. So for £100, or let's say for less than £200, you can get the roasted, and the body and everything rotted. And then you can find really good pickups, like Iron Gear pickups that are less than £100, and let's put another £50 for electronics. So all in all, for let's say £400, you can get a guitar that will kill everything that you put it through. Okay, that is true, but it might not be in the color that you want, or in the dimensions that you want, or with the shapes that we want, which is also true. And there's also the argument of buying guitars that are already complete, that no modding is required. That's why I like the Eastmans, because they came with quality components and electronics and pickups and everything. I thought that Chapman was good when it did that, when it had the American spec Seymour Duncan and everything. The share golds, the custom, not the custom, what they call, I think they call it the custom and the standard, the custom series that come with Seymour Duncans. You know, there are guitars that come already with bare knuckles. I think it's the vintage pro shop that comes, that for £1,000 you can get the Tele relic and everything for £1,000. But do I want to have £1,000 vintage branded guitar? Personally, I don't, because I know that I can buy them for less than £200 on eBay and put those pickups for less, and people will think that I have something like that. Guitar value is like brand new and used. A lot of them have a really big dip. There's space for preference and everything, but yeah, I don't know if the worth more. It depends. Like, I would want, in a perfect world, you'd have every guitar was viable and any brand could make anything, like the PJD standard guitars that are $1,250, but they have bare knuckle pickups. There you go, nitro finish and quality parts. Do I like the designs and the colors? Not really, but you can get a custom sort of guitar for that price. The Gordon Smiths is another one that I think are really good value without going crazy. But then how do you get like a PRS guitar, like a carved top, without going that way? Gaby's saying that there's no money to be had in the fact that people don't want to work on instruments or put them together themselves. I can do that just so infuriating to me. So you'll be the right person to get a Bolt Guitar UK Thunder Road, which is like a Telecaster shape, that they sell for, maybe it's a bit too much, but but they sell for what we're talking here, that they sell for £400. That comes with the unfinished body and the color that you choose, and a flame maple neck, and really interesting pickups because they spec them themselves and everything. But you can ask for them to assemble it for an extra £100, £120 or something. And if you use the code RAFSMATE, RAFS-MATE, you get 10% off, and I get 5% affiliate. That's why I'm promoting here. I do think it's a good guitar, because when I was stripping this one to put, or was I stripping this guitar even? I don't know. When I was stripping this guitar, I was thinking, like, having a body that is prepared correctly makes such a difference. And like, once you start doing things on guitars and you get the tools, like, I don't have a router, but I think it's something that I need to do. I don't know how to fill holes. Like, I would like to buy the Harley Benton kits for the offset looking one and route the tremolo cavity. I don't know how to do that, but I think once I learn how to do that, there's loads of things that you can do. I don't know how to, like, cut a piece of wood to a shape, but once I'm able to do that, I would really like to try to do a Novo guitar, like the Idris, and put this one on, or like do like an offset S-type guitar. Like, there's this guy from C9 Guitars, Keith Robson, I think that's his name, that has an offset sort of body shape that you could put like an HSS. I think that will be cool, because it's the Strat sound without having to be a Strat. per se, but I don't know how to do that. So is that one of those tables that you go around and then space and then dust and everything? So and to be fair, in this last month I've learned loads about electronics and wiring and soldering by doing it. That doesn't matter how much I read about it, I will never be able to do it. And it's a lot of messing around and spending money on tools and spending money on parts that sometimes don't always work. But at least once you've learned that, no one can take that away from you. At least that's what I tell my wife, so she understands that I'm often frustrated, but I always get this feeling of rewarded for completing a project, even if it's not perfect. At least there's something to be done. Rolling out a cavity is relatively easy. Making a body from scratch isn't worth it. Why do I have a heart? But routing a cavity is relatively easy. So you need to get the template, right? And then like drill a hole with a power drill, correct? And I don't have a vertical power drill, so is that something that I will need to get? And then put the router in and follow the template that has been taped to the body. I think I've watched a video about it. I think that's how it is, but in time I might still do it. And then plug the holes, like the pneumatic post holes, and then do the cavity, and then maybe that's the next project. And then painting British Racing Green, which I still want to do on a guitar. But I can't like just keep having, even if like this guitar now, I have 5 guitars here on the wall. You know, on this room that is tiny, I have 1 bass, 5 electric guitars, and 2 silent guitars. And so I have to take it. So, and then I have the bolt guitar that's downstairs, and I have this, and I have an acoustic guitar. And I fear that I'm going to be dumped on the streets if I keep adding guitars. But like, I'm not going to be routing one of these other guitars. Although, should I do a crazy? Well, to do a tremolo, you need to have my wife is here and she'll listen to that last bit. So if you're here, my wife, go check out our son that I think he woke up. Should I? Bear with me. Should I won't do this, Marcia, not at all. Don't worry about it. But just for the audience here, wouldn't it be cool, right, to take these posts, cover them, and put a Jazzmaster tremolo here? It would. I think it would be cool. I think it will balance this guitar really well, because at the moment it seems like a bit crowded here. That or a Bixby that they do. That they do exist, these guitars with Bixbys, but still I don't quite like it. I think I want a Jazzmaster, but I don't want to buy either a cheap Jazzmaster or an expensive Jazzmaster because I don't have the money. But I want the thing and the look of the thing. It's annoying. It's annoying. I can try it. So Gabe mentions trying a guitar that I don't mind destroying first. Yes, but for that I can also try on a blank piece of wood that I don't mind messing about. Probably that will be the best thing. I'm not the best person to talk because I've tried. When I was stripping this guitar, I started through the front like an idiot, and obviously dinged it here with like something, and here as well with a chisel. So I think I'm learning from my mistakes, but no guarantees. Duisenberg-Lierström, like Mr. Cassidy here mentions, is way easier. It is way easier. Do you like it? Do you really like it? If you, I don't know if the look, like the Juliet LA that they do, the Eastman Juliet LA has a Duesenberg Les tram. And also, do you need a rolling bridge to go with the tram? Or is it fine with the standard Tunematic? I know that the J Mascis Jazzmaster has a Tunematic and it's fine. I'm saying this like I need all these guitars and I need all these sound. I don't need any of it. I could just one guitar with one pickup and I'm off to the races to play what I play. It's literally the only thing that I need is one guitar with one pickup and the volume. I didn't even need the volume knob, to be very honest, because I use the Helix for the volumes. But you know what I'm on about. Bye bye, Marcia. I know that you're downstairs, so it's fine. I don't know. Okay, I'm very hungry now. Okay, I feel my body weakening because I came upstairs with my dried mango, but then I started the stream without actually eating it. I'm also very parched. So thank you so much for you, Steve. Email me, like I said, and Gabe, if you want to talk to me, if anyone wants to talk to me, please email me at Blackpool Music Bookings or booking. Let me just check. How will I check that? I think it's Blackpool Music Bookings at gmail.com. Okay. Let me just confirm that. In the meantime, Steve here is saying that he put it on 2-star casters, one with a roller, one without. It's not perfect, and it's not intended for heavy use. It's just for that, like, wah, 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 at the end, isn't it? Bookings. Blackpool Music Bookings at gmail.com. I'm going to put it here on my own chat. So if anyone would like to email me or any questions or want to get in contact without using social media, I'm on Instagram at Raphael_media. Raphael_media. That's my handle on Instagram. If you want to message or shoot some stuff, I usually just want to share guitar pictures and like progress pictures and ask things. I do this with Jim from Audiomo and Aaron from Aaron Short and Lee Fuge. I'm like a stalker with no real purpose. It's just like, oh, what you think about this? Like, I have this strap here, Steve. Where should I put it? Which guitar? I must know. It's the blue that is a strange shade of blue, and the yellow, it doesn't really work. But it didn't look like this on the website. Okay? So, again, thank you so much for everyone that came and watched. And I'll see you all next time. Probably it won't be a Sunday because usually I'm busy at around this time. But let me know if there's a day that you prefer to hang out for about an hour. And even you're trying to get me divorced on the telly. It could work, but then I'm trying to go and you keep making pointed questions. But then this one that has the little green bits. Maybe this could go on the Paisley. Good questions. We shall consider them all next time. Thank you, and I'll see you all whenever I see you. All right? Bye-bye.